Hi.
Call the special meeting of the Board of Commissioners to order. We're here basically for one item today, but we will call it to order, and I'm going to ask Commissioner LaCroix to lead us in a moment of silent reflection and Pledge of Allegiance.
Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America
and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, Commissioner LaCroix. Review and approve agenda.
Second.
I've got a motion by Commissioner Hadcock, second by Commissioner Lassiter to approve. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Item number 5. Brittany.
Good afternoon, Commissioners. Brittany Molitor, Planning Director. Item A is ordinance number 727 for Pennington County, a temporary ordinance regarding the issuance of local medical cannabis establishment permits or licenses or both. The county's current regulations and controls may not adequately address the unique needs and impacts of cannabis establishments in Pennington County. Informing that the rules that the South Dakota Department of Health must promulgate, those rules will determine the standards for cannabis establishments. The DOH will not have those rules finalized until late October or early November. So until then, we will neither one, know the standards for cannabis, nor two, be able to adequately assess the zoning and licensing requirements necessary to approve permits and to better ensure applicants have a more predictable permitting process. So to address these concerns, staff has therefore requested that this temporary ordinance be adopted. So I can entertain any questions and,
Brittany, the first step on this was before the Planning Commission.
correct,
Planning Commission approved it,
correct.
recommended approval of this ordinance,
Yes,
and so that's why it's here today.
yes.
Questions for Brittany?
So, Chairman, so the
Right.
temporary ordinance means that there's nothing going to be done on medical. I tried to read through this quick, but nothing going to be done on medical or recreational in Pennington County until there's a rule or regulation passed on it.
Correct. Until the state of South Dakota, the Department of Health promulgates rules, we don't have, we want to know what they're going to implement before we put something in place or have a permitting process.
Okay.
Mr. Chair,
And, excuse me, Ron, just a follow-up, sir. And then that date will be around what time?
They are anticipating the end of October, early November, so we are looking to work to get something in place prior to that.
Okay, so are you going to have a committee doing this, or is the planning doing this? What we decide on that, Chairman?
Be coming back through planning.
Yes, it will go through Planning Commission, through the public hearing process. Staff has contacted other counties and some other states to look at some of the items that they have addressed, some of the concerns that they have had. We are actually having a conference call with a county in Colorado to kind of go over some of the issues that they have had, so we can put together something to present to the Planning Commission, either through a working session or a hearing that can be presented to this board.
So we have to follow state laws, state rules on cannabis, and then county can add to that? Meaning, is it kind of like you have the laws and state of the state for cannabis, and then you come back and the county and city can have different rules and different planning, zoning, different things like that?
Colin McNeese, State's Attorney's Office. Commissioner Hadcock, under the initiated measure 26, which was passed last November, it allows local governments to regulate time, place, manner, and number of establishments, as well as through the zoning process. And then the state has the rules, administrative rules that dictate the application and some other things that are relevant to what the county is going to regulate. So having those in place will better inform the planning department as they try to learn what would be needed to effectively regulate it, to give the people what they want, but do it in a safe manner.
So the state does their rules, and then we come up with their rules plus what we think in our county would be most beneficial or best for our planning in Pennington County.
Well, we'll need to develop, if we adopt what the planning commission recommended,
Okay?
which is this ordinance
Yes,
before
sir.
you today, basically establishes a moratorium
Right,
on anybody requesting permits or licenses from us until we establish another ordinance, which can't be developed until the state promulgates its rules and regulations.
right. So is medical coming before
This is only medical.
recreational?
This is only medical.
So recreational isn't coming through yet, it's just gonna be medical if it does.
Correct.
Okay.
And then to the chair's point, I believe from talking with the Department of Health, they're going to submit their rules sometime in August or early September. And then it'll go through the rules committee and we'll be able to see those and we'll be able to craft those. So we have something in place before the licenses
So
for
Colin,
the state take place.
once you pass it through the legislature, it's not rule, meaning people can just go automatically sell it. There has to be those rules and regs set up by county and cities?
So they're two different. The county and local governments get to regulate certain aspects of medical marijuana, and then the state has some rules too. So they both have licensing ways in which they can license medical marijuana establishments. That's kind of what we're dealing with here with the moratorium and as well as the zoning, so then we can effectively understand it.
So if other counties, like smaller counties, do not have any rules and regs, do they just follow state rules and regs for their county and that's it?
They certainly can if they have the no zoning, like there's a lot of counties here, West River, that don't have zoning.
Yep.
So they would have to pass a regular ordinance and then try to put in the time, place, manner, and number of locations, the things that they're allowed to do by statute. But Pennington County has zoning, so then we can
Do it a
do it a
little bit
little
different.
bit more effectively.
Thank you, Colin.
Commissioner Roskinek?
Mr. Chair, I was just going to state that I met with the mayor of Hill City last week, and they're going to take the same position. They're going to wait until October, November, before anything will happen. It's just going to be a moratorium until then. So I think today's ordinance is just to agree on that moratorium.
Okay,
Chair.
further questions? Commissioner LaCroy?
Colin, thanks for your explanation of what's going on, because I think this is the smart way to go as far as with this ordinance, because it gives, it's hard for us to, and our staff to come up with what's needed for our community and with this ordinance without knowing what the state's going to come down, because we got to comply with each other. And I think, I know Brittany and you guys have been working on this heavily for the last 3 months, at least investigating, looking at best use practices in other communities, and I think that's what we kind of need to look at for what's in our community. And so I have faith that you guys are going to come back with some applicable things that could work in our community and how we implement it. So, but I do think this is the smart way to go.
Okay, thank you. Do we have people here that would like to speak in regard to this ordinance that appears before the commission today? Seeing none, I'll bring it back to the commission.
Mr. Chair, I make a motion that we approve the ordinance put in front of us today.
I've got a motion from Commissioner Roskinek to give approval to ordinance number 727.
Second.
And a second from Commissioner Laster. Further discussion? Seeing none, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
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 Opposed? Motion carried unanimous. There is no other business on our agenda.
Motion to adjourn.
I've got a motion to adjourn by Commissioner Hadcock, second by Commissioner Roskinek. All those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carried. Thank you.